Let me ask you a quick question. How many of you have a clear vision in terms of what your business needs to achieve in the next 3 years? So let me follow up. How many of you believe that the way you and your teams think, the way you do today, to get the results for the next 3 years? Interesting, right? So we all agree that something needs to change, right? But here's the catch. Even if you have a great vision, businesses don't fail because of lack of funding or lack of ideas. They fail because of something that is much less obvious but far more dangerous. That's a breakdown in execution. So before we deep dive why culture and accountability matters, let me introduce you myself. Hi, I'm Raghu Kiran. I'm the founder of Infinite Rise, where we specialized in building high-performance culture that delivers results and embed accountability systems in organizations that want to scale with an execution speed. Personally, I have more than 18 years of international experience, including 14 years at Gartner, working with CEOs, investors, and high-growth startup companies. In addition, I do host a leadership podcast where I bring in C-suite leaders, visionary leaders to share their best practices and also do my own research. So let's go back to the culture and accountability. We have seen this repeatedly, where companies with an amazing product, strong market demand, millions in funding, on paper, everything looks great, but inside it's a different story. It's a lot of chaos, slow decision making, lack of ownership, and teams misaligned with the strategy. And finally, execution breaks down. Now, has anyone experienced or seen a startup despite having all the right ingredients, they still struggle for success? In fact, one of our clients was exactly facing the same problem. When they embedded our accountability systems and a culture that delivers results, they've seen a stock price to grow by 900%. That's 9 times the growth. And that's the kind of transformational results that we bring to companies. Here is the interesting fact about this client. They just did not change the product. In fact, all they did was they fixed their execution through culture and accountability. So let me share you an interesting fact where CB Insights have conducted a research on 111 failed startup companies. And the interesting fact about these insights were only 38% of companies struggled due to lack of funding. But if you look deeper, the rest of the issues were related to culture, execution, alignment, and accountability. In fact, 72% of business that fail, their strategic initiatives fail due to leadership and misalignment. So misalignment creates confusion, slows decision making, creates lack of ownership, and finally kills your execution speed. So culture is, I show you how you deliver culture, let me tell you, culture is not something nice to have. It impacts everything that you do. In fact, you all have done SWOT analysis for your business, right? In fact, culture impacts every part of your business. A strong culture can turn your weakness into strength. A strong culture can get you an opportunities that you never expected before. And in fact, most importantly, culture can protect you from threats that kills your execution speed. In fact, the way how we culture partners define culture as the way you think and act to get the results. In fact, our definition is the way you think and act to get the results. And let me tell you an interesting fact. More often than not, when we ask leaders what type of culture you need, they come up with, yes, we need results oriented, we need innovation driven, yes, we want to be customer obsessed. There's nothing wrong about it. But here is the interesting data point. When culture partners when they collaborated with Stanford University and did some research, and here is what the interesting fact. The companies that grew consistently were adaptive. So companies with an adaptive culture experienced 192% greater revenue growth. So the biggest growth driver is not either your results driven or innovative driven culture. The most important factor for growth is adaptability. So think about it. Markets are shifting. Technology is evolving. If your culture is not built to adapt, you are already falling behind. So how do you create a culture that adapts, drives execution, and accelerates growth? And that's where the definition of our accountability comes in. Often accountability as a negative and punitive, but here is where we change the mindsets. With our definition, it's a personal choice to rise above one's circumstances and demonstrate the ownership necessary to achieving these key results by seeing it, owning it, solving it, and doing it. Once again, our definition of accountability is a personal choice to rise above one's circumstances and demonstrate the ownership necessary for achieving key results by seeing it, owning it, solving it, and doing it. So now you understand our way of definition. The way we keep it simple, the way we define culture is the way you think and act to get the results. And the way we define our accountability as a personal choice, empowering to rise above one's circumstances and demonstrating ownership necessary for achieving the key results by seeing it, owning it, solving it, and doing it. So now I want you to imagine the power in your organization where everyone connects their job to the results that you want to deliver. When leadership knows how to manage the culture to get the results that you care about, and finally your team understands the reasons for change and align themselves for the change and embed personal accountability to accelerate that change. Imagine that culture that gets you the results. In fact, the way we help you is by our 3-step formula. What we call is a culture equation, where we align your purpose, strategy, and culture to get you the results. And in fact, when you get this right, your culture will no longer be multiplied. In fact, it will add an exponential growth. We embed accountability systems at personal accountability as well as at the organizational level. And finally, we help leaders in coaching them how to establish expectations and how to manage those expectations to create a culture of accountability. So here's my call to actions. When you get this right, you get transformational results. In fact, we have many case studies and examples where clients who have embedded our accountability systems and culture transformation programs, they have managed to increase their 44.9% faster revenue growth, 4 times their annual returns, 200% increase in profits. So the message is clear. If you don't invest in your culture and accountability, you're leaving your execution and growth to change. So here's my call to action. So if you're scaling but struggling with execution and alignment, let's talk. Let's talk how proven accountability workshops and culture shift can help your company scale, not just survive. So if you are an investor, you already know that best products don't always win, but best executing teams do. So culture is an unseen exponential growth in every investment. Companies with strong cultures, they don't survive, they just dominate, right? So please do take our culture and accountability assessment and book a strategy call with me. And I promise you will not regret. It's at cost to us company. We are giving this culture and accountability assessment. So please do take it. It won't take more than 4 to 5 minutes. After you've done this, you get a report in terms of where you are, where you need to go, and what are the gaps. So it gives you an opportunity to work towards that. If you need further support, you can always book a strategy call with me and discuss how we can help you to thrive. Thank you, and we're looking forward to work.